was the boogeyman.
As a matter of fact, it was.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Matthew Lillard and his two most recent interviews with Entertainment Weekly and Collider, where he discusses the Stu Macher character and the chances of the character's return to the Scream franchise, along with how he feels about the character, as what he had to say is sure to raise some eyebrows. If you haven't done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton, as well as if you happen to be a new viewer to this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. The first article I'm going to touch on is from Matthew's interview with Entertainment Weekly that was published by Clark Collis. Matthew Lillard doesn't think he'll return to Scream despite fan theory. The actor has bad news for fans who want to see more of his killer character, Stu Macher. Matthew Lillard has bad news for the horror fans that want to see more of his Scream character, Stu Macher, who together with Skeet Ulrich's Billy Loomis was responsible for the homicidal mayhem in Wes Craven's 1996 slasher classic. The Five Nights at Freddy's star tells EW we probably won't see him in the role again. The fate of Macher has long obsessed followers of the franchise. While Nevecampbell's Sidney Prescott appeared to fatally crush his head with a television set at the end of the first film, Lillard himself tweeted in 2020 about the possibility that he could have survived, writing, "I mean, it was just a TV, right?" The theory that Stu is alive in the Scream universe was reinforced by Jasmine Savoy Brown's Mindy Meeks Martin in this year's Scream 6. After Hayden Panettiere's character mentioned Macher's demise, she replied, "If you believe he's dead." It wouldn't be the craziest situation to see Stu return, considering Ulrich's Billy returned to the most recent movies in ghost form, and certainly now, the producers of the planned Scream 7 would seem to have some cast gaps to fill. David Arquette's Dewey was killed off in 2022 Scream, while face of the franchise Campbell declined to appear in Scream 6 because she felt she wasn't offered enough money. Last month, the movie's new headliner Melissa Barrera was dropped from the cast of the upcoming Scream 7 in the wake of a series of social media posts expressing support for the Palestinian cause and criticizing Israeli actions since the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war. Despite these developments, Lillard insists he is unlikely to play Macher again. "I don't think so," he says when asked about it by EW. "I mean, look, with what they're going through right now, I have no idea where that goes. If there's a world where it makes sense, then sure. I mean, they keep mentioning it, they keep tiptoeing around the outside." Lillard is keen for the franchise's overlords to make clear whether Macher is alive or dead, regardless. "I hope they put it to bed one way or the other," he continues. "I can't walk down the street without somebody asking me if I'm going to be in episode 35 or whatever." We now move on to Matthew's comments in an interview with Emma Keeley from Collider that was later published in this article from Britta DeVore that is titled, "Matthew Lillard has a surprising take on his Scream legacy." "I don't really care about Stu Macher," Lillard says, crushing the souls of Scream fans everywhere. "But wait, there's more," he continued. "It's a part I played. It's like if you're a plumber. Do you care about the house you did down the street and around the corner? No, it's your job, and I love that job. It's been nice to have that in my resume, but the reality is, it's a part I did 20 plus years ago." While he may be a bit flippant about the role that so many hold near and dear to their hearts, Lillard goes on to explain that it's the fandom and following that matters to him, adding, "So what is important to me is that what it means to other people is deeply relevant when you see them all the time, and powerful. It's not something I understood before that." Okay, so a good bit to unpack here. The first thing that I will touch on is Matthew's comments with EW about him not thinking he will return as Stu Macher in a Scream franchise. He points out the fact that there is a lot going on with the franchise as it is going through a creative reboot in terms of story, with the firing of Melissa Barrera and exit of Jenna Ortega as Samantha and Tara Carpenter. So I think he's acknowledging the fact that whatever direction story-wise they were planning to go that could have incorporated Stu Macher's return no longer exists because of this new creative direction. He states that if it makes sense for the character to return, then he is open to do it, and acknowledges that the new new team behind the Scream films have tiptoed around the idea of a possible Stumacher return, which has been pointed out by many fans with the subtle Easter eggs in Scream 5 and 6 of that possibility. So for those who may mistake his comments about him not returning as Stumacher as a sign that he doesn't want to come back to the Scream franchise, that is not the case. He just wants to return to make sense, not just done for fan service, while also acknowledging, though the idea has been mentioned, due to the current state of the Scream franchise, that idea may not come to fruition like many hope. He also goes on to state that one way or the other, he hopes the new team behind Scream puts the Stumacher theory to bed, which tells me he is essentially telling them to pull the trigger or drop the gun, meaning if you're going to bring Stu back and reveal he is indeed alive, do it, or flat out once and for all confirm that he is dead. Now, some might take this as Matthew getting tired of being asked about Stu's return, which to a small degree may be the case, and I'm sure can be overwhelming at times. But I think it has more to do with the facts of striking while the iron is hot and striking while he is available. I say this because Matthew is on fire right now due to the success of Five Nights at Freddy's, and he has been on record saying that he wants to do more sequels of that franchise. When you add into the fact that he also has his own filming company now and might also have other projects that he may get offered for, if the intentions are to bring Stumacher back into the Scream franchise, he is urging them to do it sooner rather than later, as if they wait too long, he may not be available. Now on to Matthew's comments with Collider about not caring about the Stumacher character. Some may interpret this comment as him saying he doesn't care if the character returns to the Scream franchise, so on and so forth, when in my opinion that is not what he is saying. What he is saying that though the character is wildly popular, he doesn't look at the character as anything more than a job that he did and a role that he played. However, the fans' perception and love of the character or characters that he plays are what matter to him, because it shows the hard work that he put into said character paid off. In short, he doesn't care to have a critique or much of an opinion on the Stumacher character. He cares about the fans' critique and opinion on the character. With all that being said, I don't see Matthew's comments from either interview as bad news for Scream fans who want to see Matthew return to Stumacher like the caption for EW's article stated. I see these comments more of Matthew being aware of what's going on with the Scream franchise and the uncertainty going into Scream 7, as well as him not giving too much cadence to the role he played as Stumacher, while acknowledging the job that he did playing that character means more to the fans than it does to him. But okay everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on Matthew's comments with Entertainment Weekly and Collider, and tell me if you think we will ever see Matthew again as Stumacher in the Scream franchise. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.